Alright, so hello and welcome to the first episode of AnimeSpeakTV. I'm Shadow ACS.
This is Darkness Dragon Rose, and yeah, what he said.
Yep. So our first episode is going to be on the harem genre of anime. And we figured this would be a good idea to do for the first episode because it's practically an anime-exclusive genre at this point. And this is awkward because we already recorded this once before, but it didn't work. So we're basically just saying everything we just said live a second time.
Except I'm less shy now.
Okay, yeah, that's a good plus. So in that case, why don't you tell all the good people who are watching this what the harem genre is, in case they don't know.
So the harem genre, essentially, is when there's that one clueless, bland. Usually, there's that one clueless, bland moron who's surrounded by three or more girls. Just three or more girls.
And they're all after him, basically.
They're all after him. He has an idea, but he either doesn't act on it, or he has an interest in one of the girls, or he has interest in one of the girls, but there's
general gist of it is that it's a really huge love triangle with multiple girls involved.
Yeah. Essentially, yeah.
What are your general thoughts on harem anime in general?
I don't think it's a surprise that when I say an excessive amount of them is usually ecchi.
Yeah, it's a genre that was most likely created with fan service and ecchi in mind. I mean, it's multiple girls going after a guy. The rest of it pretty much speaks for itself.
Yeah, it's kind of sad too because almost every other genre, romance, fantasy, action, it can all work well with it. Cause
it can work well. And there have been shows that have used it well. See, I like harem anime, but probably for different reasons than everyone else does. I'm a fan of the genre mostly for its the fact that you can get a lot of character development in it and a lot of character interactions. And by its very nature, the genre involves multiple different characters with very different personalities. Even the worst harem anime, I have never seen one where all the girls are exactly the same.
Yeah, but yeah. What you just said is right, and usually in the setup too, it's usually like this. There's always that one lolly. There's always it's true.
It's true. It is. Yeah. There's always one lolly girl, and yeah, there's usually a tsundere involved somewhere in there as well. Basically, stereotypical anime characters that we've seen a million times tend to show up in these shows.
Yeah, and there's a yandere too sometimes, the crazy girl.
I've only seen a yandere and a harem in Shuffle.
Shuffle, yeah, Shuffle.
Which is a good one to bring up though, because Shuffle is the only harem anime I can think of which actually uses the harem setup as a way to get drama and character development and actual romance, as opposed to just making it exploitative fan service.
Yeah, there's so many unexpected things in it. I wasn't expecting her to go crazy. I'm not gonna say who, but yeah.
Well, yeah, we probably shouldn't give spoilers on that.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to talk about is I've seen, like, in the descriptions of several anime, they're listed as harem even though there's only 2 girls involved. Like, I've seen sites that list High School of the Dead as a harem anime, and I don't really get that, because a love triangle and a harem are very different things.
Yeah, there's basically, I know where you're coming from. There is a love triangle in there, but I could see where that harem aspect of it comes.
Yeah,
look, there's so many girls in there. It's so obvious.
To be fair, there's 4 girls and 2 guys. And one of the girls is the nurse who's only there as a fan service gimmick, so I don't think I would count her as a character.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. So, what was I going to say? Crap. Another thing about harem anime that's interesting is that, oddly enough, I find they get much better comedy than a lot of other anime do. Like, I don't know if you've seen Sekirei, which...
I've seen Sekirei, yeah.
Extremely fan-servicey. I love the show to death. In spite of that, it has some of the funniest comedy I've ever seen in an anime.
Yeah, just like in your whereas in your Demon King Daimao review, you said boobs are not funny.
That show, oh my god, that was so bad. Okay, I know a lot of people like the anime. I got some negative feedback for that review. I thought it was just atrociously bad.
The cigar smoking parrot. Oh no, the crow.
It was a crow. That's one thing I should bring up. I did get something wrong in that review. I don't know why I thought it was a parrot. It's a crow. That doesn't make it
a parrot
less
funnier.
ridiculously stupid.
Parrot sounds funnier though.
It sounds funnier, yeah. Regardless, good harem anime on the other hand. Another thing is that, back to Sekirei, we're talking about the comedy. Don't you think the setup of shows like that is a gateway to good comedy? Because whether or not you like love triangles, I don't think there's a lot of people who would say that they don't, at the very least, lead to some funny situations.
Yeah, for Sekirei though, it's like, basically, how should I say it? It was kind of like Ikitosen. Like, I don't know if you saw a show. There's a show called Ikitosen, and I hate that show.
I haven't seen it.
It's, oh my god. You know how in Sekirei their clothes rip so easily?
Yeah, their clothes are like made out of saran wrap or something. You just rip it in half.
Yeah, it's like, I swear to God, the girls in Ikitosen, their clothes are made out of like feathers or something. I don't know. Like the guy could just like sneeze. The guy could just sneeze on their shirt and it would like rip off. I'm not kidding. Oh my god, it's so.
And someone published this show. That sounds really sad.
Yeah. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say.
Seriously though, there's a lot of harem anime that, despite the fact that they are fan servicey, they do actually have really good stories that work with the harem aspect. Like Sekirei is one we brought up a couple times. I think it's a great story, honestly.
It is.
Those aspects are stupid and annoying as all hell. But I enjoyed the show.
Yeah, me too. I didn't see the second season though.
The second season is much better. I personally...
Really?
Yeah, while watching it, I was actually considering putting it on my top 10 list before the enjoyment aspect sort of wore off on me. That's one thing I like to do. I usually wait like a week or so after watching a show before I decide how much I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I guess I'll check it out when I get time for it. Yeah, Ikitosen too. Like I said, Ikitosen too. It also had a good story. Like,
yeah, I've heard good things about
it. It's basically it's kind of like Ikitosen is like, how should I say? It's kind of like Mirai Nikki. It's like Mirai Nikki mixed with Rosero Vampire for those who've seen it. It's technically like that. It's those two mixed into one. Yeah. But it wasn't.
I'm trying to picture that, and I'm not getting anything.
You have to see it.
That's such a weird combination, though.
Yeah.
What?
But I'm telling you, sooner or later, when you're like halfway into that, you forget the plot is even there. It's like non-existent. It's all about the fan service. All of it.
Sounds awful.
Yeah. It sets it up. It sets up the plot in the first few episodes, but then it just ignores it. It's like, it's gone. And it just focuses on the cleavage and such.
Wow, sounds like a really riveting and magnificent production that anyone should check out. You heard it here, guys. Ikitosen is apparently a good anime because it has boobs in it.
And
So
okay, Shadow, don't get mad.
Sorry?
Don't get mad, but let's talk about Deers. No.
That's not really a harem anime, and I am so glad we don't have to talk about it because I've been pissed off enough lately. Although, is it a harem anime? I only remember there was one girl he was into, and by into I mean horribly abused until the last 2 seconds of the show.
Well, when I think about it, it's the harem aspect of it is almost there, but not quite, because there's 3 girls there.
Yeah. It's kind of like what you could say everything else about the show. It's almost there. It's just so terrible that it's not.
Yeah, I just whenever someone mentions Deer, I just remember on your top 10 worst anime list, you're like to say that this show is disgustingly bad would in of itself be an insult to shows they're disgustingly bad.
Okay, so back to real harem anime. I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of which other harem anime are good.
I think I brought up Shuffle earlier in this video. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Shuffle, whether or not you like it, because it doesn't exploit harem for fan service and actually uses it as a way to create romance and drama. Because when you think about it, the setup of a guy going after a bunch of different girls, assuming the guy wasn't a complete perverted prick, is a good dramatic setup.
Yeah.
Because he's having.
No, the thing is though, even though if they're a perverted prick, usually when they get a chance to like touch the girl or something, they won't do it because they're scared.
So
like that always happens.
Or if you're doing a really shitty harem like Demon King Daimao, for instance, he'll accidentally touch the girl, which leads to dumb comedic antics that probably led some viewers to suicide because they were so annoying. At least, judging from my experience, it was that bad. Again, no disrespect to people who like the show, because I know it does have a fan base somewhere out there. That's another thing, though.
I'm just trying to think which what other harem anime are good other than Shuffle. I know there is.
Really interesting case though of a harem anime, I think, is Familiar of Zero. That's like a fantasy anime that has a very different setup than most other harems. And it's kind of a curious case because it only Familiar of Zero?
Familiar of Zero. Which one was that again?
It's the one with where the guy goes into the other world, and it's kind of like Harry Potter with the Harry Potter school, and it's this aristocratic society where people.
Oh yeah, you're.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually see that one?
Yeah, I didn't see it. But like,
yeah, really good show. I recommend it.
The girl with the
pink hair. Yeah, the pink hair has some obnoxious comedy, but it's a fantasy story first with the harem thing sort of going on in the background, which is kind of unusual the more I think about it. Do you know of any other shows that like do that? Because there's shows like Sekirei or Omamori Hamari, which have harem as about half the theme of the show, and the story is the rest. But what about shows where the harem thing is only a small part of it?
Yeah, that's the thing. I can't like. I haven't seen like that much like long harem anime, judge it fully, but like usually it's like the same crap over and over again.
Yeah, it's a repetitive genre. As much as I enjoyed it, I will give it that. There's a lot of recurring themes in harem anime.
And cliches, yeah. So many. Just trying to think, though. I know I've seen this another harem anime that I like, though.
Your microphone's breaking up a little. You okay?
Yeah, your voice is like, I was just about to say, your voice is like, it's staticky a little bit.
Okay, 1 second. Is that
Yep.
better?
Say something again?
Is that better?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, before I was using the different setting on my microphone. Never mind. Let's just keep going.
Yeah, exactly. um, so where were we? Yes. I can't. You've seen more harem than me, but
Possibly. I didn't see Rosario plus Vampire. I only saw part of that. You mentioned that when we were trying to do this the first time. What was that you said about it again?
Rosario Vampire. It's technically like another anime named called High School DxD. It's almost based.
I've heard a lot of interesting things about that show.
High School DxD.
Yeah. Like how it's basically a hentai, but it's not.
Yeah, basically the OVAs are okay. The OVAs, I swear, to God, the OVA, one of the OVAs, there was a plant. It was a plant growing. Instead of the plant like growing fruit, it grew boobs. Like
That's stupid.
I'm not. Yeah, I know it's.
No, that's really freaking stupid. Somebody made this anime.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. It's an OVA though, but yeah, Shadow. If you hate the generic, stupid, really, really, really stupid main character in the harem, you will hate School DxD. Like like the girls flat out they came up to him and said he's a pervert too. He's a pervert too, and he knows it. And the girls they come up to him. The girls like they basically come up to him. They're like, "Oh, touch me," and then he's like, he gets scared. And all the time, through the whole time, he's like, "Oh, these girls are so hot. I want to touch them." And it's I got really pissed off.
Sounds like a really miserable experience to sit through this show. I don't want to watch it.
Watch it just to see, but it's only like 12, 13 episodes. Even though there's a second season out right now, but I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, so I think we're starting to break up in quality here. So do you want to just end the episode now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so this was the first episode of AnimeSpeakTV. We hope you enjoyed it. This is Shadow ACS.
Yeah.
And signing off.
And sorry, guys. Sorry about my stuttering and everything.
Don't apologize. You did fine.
I'm just a little shy. It's my first time doing a live thing, kind of.